International Committee of the Red Cross wants to work with gamers and those who create games in order to create consequences for those who commit virtual war crimes. I'm not even kidding. So the reason why they want to do this is because they're really worried about how doing virtual war crimes will translate to reality. They're worried that people will not take war crimes seriously if they're allowed to do war crimes without consequences in video games. So, according to the International Committee of the Red Cross, they say that these video games should not reward players for actions that in real life would be considered war crimes. I feel the same way about the federal government and the American people. But only instead of the virtual world, I'm talking about reality.
Yeah. So I wish they were as animated when Dick Cheney was torturing people.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, look, to be fair to the Red Cross, they're like, look. We're not talking about real consequences. It's not like if you do a war crime in a video game, we're going to bust into your house and we're going to put you in jail. No. Okay.
They want consequences in the video game.
Within the video game.
Yeah,
Right.
it's ridiculous.
No. I don't think it is, actually.
I think it's super ridiculous.
Don't make me drop it.
Yeah, let's drop it. I'm totally ready to drop it.
Oh, no.
Oh, damn.
I'm not sure I was calling for it because I'm not sure I'm ready to win this battle.
Because you're going to lose, that's
All
why.
right, hold. Look, so what they're saying is create a penalty within the game. Like, so there's a lot of things you do in a game that creates a penalty. You lose some life points, energy, whatever, food, you lose a weapon, whatever it is, right? And they're like, make it fun within the game. We're not trying to be downers and say, okay, make the game less enjoyable. We're not saying that they should do a pop-up explaining the severity of war crimes and the international laws, etc. They're just saying, hey, it would help a brother out if you within the game there was a penalty to be paid for breaking the laws of war that would educate and still be fun.
Yeah. They should also focus on GTA, Grand Theft Auto. So every time you do a carjacking or something, there's some sort of consequence for it within the game. It'll be really fun. And it won't hurt the sales of the game at all. Absurd. If you're really concerned about war crimes and you're worried about belittling the negative impact of war crimes, why don't you focus on what the American government is doing? Really? You're going to go to gamers and you're going to tell people who create these games that they should program them in one way or another.
Okay.
Please.
Now the thing is, the Red Cross has to be neutral, so it puts them in a tough spot. They need to make sure that the people in Guantanamo Bay are safe. They need to know that the prisoners that Bashar al-Assad is keeping in Syria are safe, so they can't come out and say, this government is bad or that government is doing the wrong thing. We hate Dick Cheney. We hate Muammar Gaddafi, etc. Okay? So I know why they can't do that. Here's something that they're trying to do. It's a tiny positive step. Now, when you bring Grand Theft Auto, obviously it seems absurd, right? So point well taken,
okay.
Justice Kasparian. And in Halo, they should stop shooting people, right? And what did those space invaders ever do to us? That we're constantly shooting at them. But overall here, I just think it's harmless. No reason not to think about it.
I don't think it's harmless.
Okay, why is it so harmful?
Well, okay, I think harmful is the wrong word. Like, no one's going to die or get injured as a result of what the Red Cross is proposing here. But I just feel like it's ridiculous for them to get involved in this industry and blame this industry for something, because that's what they're implying. They're implying that the video game industry is belittling certain war crimes or it's creating a certain mindset among its users, and I don't necessarily agree with that.
Well, they're trying to have it both ways, because they said they're worried about the trivialization of serious violations, so that goes to your point. Mm-hmm. But they don't want to be involved in a debate about the level of violence in video games. So they're saying, look, I don't want to start that debate. On the other hand, you're trivializing it.
Their weird half measure is just beyond strange.
All right, obviously we're split on this, so we go to the Chief Justice Godoy and Justice Jackson to settle this.
Well, I guess it depends on what the punishments will be. Like, you guys brought up Grand Theft Auto. Again, I haven't played in years. I played maybe the last ones that were on the regular Xbox. But if that happens, there's consequences within that video game, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you end up going to jail. You lose whatever you had, and then there's consequences. So if it's on those lines, who cares? Yeah, you're still playing the game. But I don't know what they're proposing. Are you going to lose your ability to play video games or your online credits or something that you actually paid for? I think now we're getting a little bit further.
Yeah.
It all depends.
No. Look, let me be clear about one thing. They're not saying, like, if you commit a war crime in Halo, you're not allowed to play League of Legends anymore.
No, and by the way, to be
It's just deducts points or whatever within that game.
Yeah, to be absolutely clear, they don't propose anything specific. The only thing they're proposing is there should be virtual consequences if war crimes are broken within the video game, because they say that they don't want to trivialize something as serious as a war crime, and they also want to create a realistic experience through the video game, which is also absurd. The reason why people play video games is because it's escapism, it's fun, it's a recreational thing.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing more fun than the International Criminal Court. Chief Justice.
Well, there isn't much more I could add. Anna pretty much covered everything as far as like it's a fake game, it's not reality, people, and I can't. Like, this whole conversation doesn't make sense. Like, why is the Red Cross even involved in trying to mandate what video games should and should not be doing? Go get somebody to donate blood or something.
All right, so we're 2-1 here because I didn't quite get JR's vote. JR, you got to give me a final vote.
Well, this is the thing. I don't see it as that bad of a thing, so sure, why not? Yeah, Red Cross can ask somebody to, because, okay, we talk about the escapism of video games. People go and escape, and okay, I hate the stupid argument of let's go ahead and regulate video games because now we have mass shooters because of video games. That's a big lie. But they're crazy fucking people out here. So there's some people that do escape to the video games and they really do just live in their video games. We're going to talk about that in the next story, Anna Kasparian. But people live their video games so much, it really does become their life. Some people just go on the internet and it becomes their life to be on the internet as someone else. So a lot of times the fake stuff crosses over to reality, and maybe we should address it. I don't know.
Imagine if they started regulating basketball players for stealing basketballs during a game. Like, no, it doesn't work. It's a game. They're playing a basketball game. The guy's supposed to steal a basketball.
Or what about movies? Are they going to extend this to movies now? So if a character breaks a war crime or does a war crime in the movie, does that person like?
No, but the flip side to that is, last point here, is that like they do portray Muslims in movies in horrible ways, and every once in a while a Muslim American group will be like, hey, can you cut us a break? Every once in a while, can you make the bad guy Irish or Polish or something? Help a brother out, right? And I think it's a fair request to say that. So it's all within the bounds of reason. Now we're split 2-2. That means we got to do a poll, okay? TRTnetwork.com. We'll have the link up here. You guys will decide. And it's just on the narrow issue of is the Red Cross, right to ask these games to create consequences within the game, okay? So nobody's going to jail in real life, okay? But at the same time, I think Jesus and Anna made great points about,
Yes,
hey,
we did.
okay, just calm down. Don't make me take it away, okay? That, hey, just butt out of this. This is none of your business. Okay, all right. You decide.